So today I've decided to come out to Mendips again, and I'm actually heading for a place called Crook Peak, which lies right at the end of Mendips, and I'm hoping to shoot it from a location called, I think it's called Wavering Down. My plan for this image is to try a little bit of focus stacking, because I thought it would be a good way to demonstrate what focus stacking is and how you can use it. Basically, with focus stacking, you take a series of images, you focus in the foreground, the midground, and then the distance, and then you stack those images together in Photoshop to create an image which is sharp from front to back. And it's a really useful tool for particularly wide-angle photography if you're using, or if you have a strong foreground element in your image which is quite close to the camera, because if you check out my settings video, I talked about how to maximize depth of field by focusing about a third of the way into your scene. That isn't ideal when you've got something really close to the camera, because although you may be able to get that foreground interest acceptably sharp, to get it really sharp you really need a focus stack. So that's why I'm here today, is just to do a little bit of focus stack demonstration. So it's a lovely spot. You can probably just make out Glastonbury Tor there in the background. Really close to Bristol again, so it's nice and handy for me. It's a convenient location to come out. There's also quite a lot of buzzards around, so I've also got the 400mm lens with me. So I'm not promising anything, but it might be possible to get some wildlife photography done as well today. We'll see how we get on. Wildlife photography is, as yet, not my strong point, but it's something I really love to do more of. And in actual fact, today I was actually at a talk from a guy called Sam Hobson, who had one of his photos, was in Wildlife Photographer of the Year last year. It was the beautiful fox image, you might have seen it, of a fox in Bristol. Really interesting talk, really inspiring, so that's inspired me to have a go at a bit of wildlife photography as well, but it's not going to be to that standard, I'm sure. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I've got the 400mm lens, so we might get some nice shots of wildlife. We might not, but I'm going to have that on the camera as I wander around, just in case I spot something. I know there's a few rabbits up here as well, so maybe I'll just do some rabbit photography or something. Yeah, who knows. Whilst I'm here, I also just wanted to say a massive thank you to Chris Sale. I'm not sure whether you saw my one-shot challenge video, but I'll pop a link to it here if you haven't checked it out. But I was greatly inspired by Chris Sale's video when I made that video, and actually when Chris asked me to share the image with him when I got it, so I sent him the image. He also checked out the video, and he very, very kindly decided to share my video on his YouTube channel. So I'm hugely grateful for that, Chris. So thank you so much. It really means a lot to have that kind of positive feedback. But yeah, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to Chris, and with any luck I'll bump into him at the photography show next week. In actual fact, if you are going to be at the photography show next week on the 17th of March in Birmingham, do keep an eye out for me. I'll be wandering around. I'll most likely be in Thomas Heaton's talks. I'm also hoping to go to some talks by Tom Mason and Tesney Ward, who are fantastic wildlife photographers. So keep an eye out for both me and Hannah if you're at the show. We'd love to see you. Do come and say hello. And yeah, stay tuned, and I'm going to take a wander around and see if I can shoot some wildlife or landscapes. Who knows? So I'm actually up the top of Wavering Down now, and as you can see, it's got a little bit windier, it's got a bit colder, so I've popped the jacket back on. There's actually quite a few buzzards flying around up here, so I think I might just sort of hang tight for a little while, just see if I can get any decent shots from as they fly past. But you can see why I love this spot. I mean, just look at these views, it's amazing. Somerset levels down there behind me, and yeah, it's beautiful. Anyway, so yeah, we'll just hang tight and see if we can get any images of buzzards. Wow, so this is just amazing, just sat here watching these buzzards. They're just stunning. A little bit too far off to get any really good shots, unfortunately. Yeah, but just amazing to watch. Did manage to get some images, but I think the buzzard's just going to be this kind of tiny little speck in the images, so I don't think it's going to be any groundbreaking wildlife photography going on. But yeah, fantastic just to watch them. The way they dive, and you just get this really great vantage point from up here as well. It's fantastic. So yeah, it was good fun just watching those buzzards fly around. As you can probably see now, that sun's starting to get a little bit lower. We're not quite at the blue hour just yet, or golden hour, whichever one it is. Yeah, I'm going to have to start thinking about going to find my landscape shot soon. So yep, buzzards just disappeared. It did a few dives and now it's shot down. So I think what I'd do is start to take a wander up and see if I can start composing my landscape shot. This is just such an amazing location. Look at this. Stunning views. We're just a short drive outside Bristol. You can see why I came here. And we've actually got rabbits over there too, so I might see if I can get some photos of rabbits. I should probably not be standing up like I am now. So I'll get down low and see if I can get some images of rabbits. By getting down really low and resting the camera on an anthill, I was able to minimise my profile, and the rabbits soon became used to my presence. So I just had some really good fun just photographing those rabbits just now. Yeah, I know rabbits aren't necessarily the most exotic species in the world and you get them everywhere, but no, actually just to be lying there and have them so close was really cool. So I really enjoyed that. Some of you are probably thinking, oh, why is he bothering to take photos of rabbits? But no, I actually really enjoyed that. Just lying there, and at first they knew I was there, and then they just gradually relaxed and just started to feed, and yeah, that was really good fun. I think I got some good shots of them as well, so that was cool. Anyway, it's time now to take the landscape shot. I'm going to switch lenses in a minute, so I'm hoping to use one of these stones here as a foreground interest, and we'll try and focus stack the image as well. So we'll get the camera set up, I'll get the wide angle lens on there. We've also got this lovely lead-in line that's being created by this path leading up to the peak. It's Crook's Peak, which should work really well. So yeah, I'm going to get the tripod up, get the wide angle lens on, and get the image framed up. As I mentioned in the video we made about composition, it's always worth taking a little bit of extra time with the camera off the tripod to compose your shot. Okay, so I've got the shot framed up now. Everything's in the right position. The sun is just about in the right position as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 photos at different focal points. I'll take the first photo focusing literally on this rock right in the foreground. The second photo I will focus about in the midground, and then the final photo I will do by focusing right in the distance, actually on the edge of the peak. I'm at aperture 13 currently, and a 15th of a second. I'll have to work quite quickly because I'm also going to bracket each shot, so I'm doing a 1.5 stop bracket either side, basically so that I can do an exposure blend when I come to post-process the images. So there's going to be quite a lot of images to take because I'm going to have basically 3 sets of 3. So yeah, I have to be quite organised in how I import these in Lightroom. So I'm going to go ahead and take the images now. So let's just see what we've got. Unfortunately, because I've got a 5D Mark II, we don't have a touchscreen on the back of a camera, which would be really useful for doing this, because you can then just touch where you want it to focus. So instead, what I'm going to have to do is focus on the rock in the foreground, like so. Then I'll reframe the image. Now I'm not going to move the camera again, because I'm going to be blending a lot of exposure, so I don't want to move the camera again. But now I've done that with a foreground focus point. For the rest of them, I can use the inbuilt focus points that the 5D Mark II has. So I'll go ahead and take the first image now. This is just looking fantastic, actually. I don't have any filters, by the way. I don't think that they're necessary in this instance. But we'll go ahead now and take the image. So that's the first one, and we'll do a darker exposure, and we'll do the final one. Switch the autofocus back on. This time we'll focus it just about there. Switch that back. Another 3 images. And then this final one, I'm going to just focus in the distance. There we go. And take those images too. And that's it. Hopefully that was quick enough. Hopefully we didn't have too much movement. And hopefully that's going to come out okay. We'll see how we get on. I don't normally do this, but I think as an homage to Chris and as an extra thank you for your help, I'm going to do a Chris Sale style selfie. So the light's now dropped. I think it's time to head home. I think the images have turned out okay. I think it'd be interesting to see how they turn out when we get back to post-process them. I think there's going to be quite a lot of work to do, actually. It's quite a lot of work with the focus stacking and exposure blending and bracketing as well. Given myself a lot of work to do there, and an awful lot of images to try and sort out when I get home. I think it's going to work okay. Fantastic location, this. It's still just stunning. Maybe I should still be taking photos. I don't know. The lights come off the rocks, so I won't. But just look at that sky. It's absolutely beautiful. Great place. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed the images. Also fantastic fun taking photos of rabbits as well. I know rabbits aren't necessarily the most exciting subject in the world when it comes to wildlife photography. You get them everywhere, but it was good practice for me just to practice, trying to stay hidden and get relatively close to some wild animals. So really enjoyed that, and I think some of those photos have turned out as okay as well, if you like rabbits. So yeah, great, fantastic. I'm going to pack up, I'm going to head home, please remember to hit subscribe. Please remember to hit like as well if you like this video. Take care. Maybe I'll see some of you at the photography show if you're there, 17th next weekend. If you see Hannah and I, then do pop up and say hello. Okay, for now, take care. We'll see you next time.